Hello everyone, and welcome back to Avant 3 on the FTOG server, where the sun never sets and everyone is happy and all is good. Well, kind of was. I made a little bit of an error in between episodes, so I'd intended today to get the mana production started for our Botania. I was going to set up a load of dayblooms, and then about halfway through sort of setting stuff up, I suddenly remembered that dayblooms now decay in Botania. Well, they have for a while now, but they didn't used to. And I'd set this up. So I spent a little bit of time building an area where we're going to have our dayblooms. And I was really, really pleased with it. As I say, I spent a little bit of time on it, just trying to make things look nice. And then I remembered that, the dayblooms do actually decay. And the amount of time that it'd take me to get all these dayblooms made, I think the first lot that I've made would have started decaying already. So unless we could find a way to sort of completely automate the setup, they're pretty useless to us now, other than having a few just to start off our mana collections so that we can move on to more stable and better producing fauna, whatever you want to call it. But we're still going to keep this. I'm just going to change it. I'm going to change it a little bit so we can move on pretty quickly to getting some ender flames. And yeah, so a little bit disappointed, but that's the way it goes sometimes. As I say, I'd completely forgotten about it. But on a positive note, I did move the stuff that I said I would move. It was originally set up over here. So the Petal Apothecary, and you'll be pleased to see that I've now hidden the horrific mess of conduits that I had before, well, most of it, and we've solved the problem of accidentally picking stuff up when it sort of falls into here now. So pretty much go into here, we can put our petals into here, we can press the button here to put the water into the Petal Apothecary. I can't even say it again now. And we've got a little dedicated area set up here for the water crops. And I've put a lever on top of the farming station just because it had produced so much. And if we look inside here, we've got an absolute ton of the water essence. And I've used it a little bit. It's a little bit clunky, I suppose, but it works. And as I say, now that we haven't got to produce an absolute ton of dayblooms, it'll do the job just fine. And I'll set up a little area here just for a few storage drawers, just for our petals. I'm going to say I was a little bit surprised with I decided to go with a more sort of compact drawer system than I have previously. I've not used the drawers here with the multiple inventories in each one, and the drawer controller doesn't really seem to work with it. If you sort of like double click when you've got an inventory full of the stuff, as long as it's got a drawer, it'll go in there. But sort of often with this, it doesn't actually go in. You've still got to manually place it. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's always been there with storage drawers, whether or not you can only do the double right click with a single drawer system. But yeah, that's a thing. So anyway, given that plans have changed a little bit, as I say, I was going to get straight onto the dayblooms. I decided sort of on the fly just to do something else that hopefully you might find a little bit interesting. So the system of collecting living wood and living rock, previously it was a little area, and we'd sort of got our flowers there. You put the stuff down, wait for 1 minute, and then it turns, harvest it up and put some more down, and so on and so forth. And I thought to myself, it'd be kind of cool if we could automate that. Now, in terms of the usefulness of actually having this automated, I'm not 100% sure that we'd use it that much that in itself would justify having it automated. But that said, I like automating things, and yeah, so I just thought, why not? And I had a little bit of a play around with it, and I found that there's a couple of fantastic blocks in Actually Additions that can help us with it, and that is the auto breaker and the auto placer for putting more items down. But we kind of ran across a little bit of a problem with it when I was testing it, and that was that the auto breaker and the auto placer, they are redstoneable, for want of a better way of putting it, but they don't connect to the Ender IO conduits, and I couldn't find, let me say, a modded way of actually getting a redstone signal into the things. So I've kind of gone back a little bit old school with my design here. So we're going to use a little bit of modded technology, but I'm also going to use some sort of more traditional vanilla redstoning. So if that sounds a little bit complicated, the way I've just explained that, which it probably does, don't worry, we're going to go through it. And we're going to start off then by collecting a bunch of the auto breakers, and I think I've potentially got one of them stored away somewhere, or at least I thought I did. Let's just hopefully I can just grab one. Yeah, there, I've made one already. I say I was just testing it just to see how it works, so I made one, and they're pretty easy to make. So it's this item here, say from Actually Additions, and all it requires is a bit of cobble, one of the basic coils, which is just some of the redstonia crystals, the black quartz, and it also needs one of these void crystals, which is just a block of coal put in front of the atomic reassembler. I can't remember the exact name of it now, but you pop that in front of it, and you get a void block, which you can then put into a crafting grid and turn into 9 void crystals. So I went away and I made some of the base materials anyway. So hopefully we can just pop a few of these together. In fact, I just need to get the bits out of the bag because you can't double click in from there. So we should just be able to make a number of those. So there's 8 of those, and I think that might have a little bit of inventory in it already. And we'll come on to the placer in a minute. So we'll grab our pure daisies out, and we'll make a start. I'll grab the redstone as well. So we'll pop the daisies into position. Might as well pop that one there as well. Though we'll do that. I'll do that one off camera. We'll just do the wood one first of all. And the way this is going to work then is we're going to need first of all some redstone torches, because that's what's going to supply the pulse to the breakers. And then we'll be able to pop the breakers down as well. In fact, I mean, we can pop the breakers down first. It doesn't really matter. These can be placed in any direction, so you can have them facing forward, but we want these placing upwards because I want them to be underneath the actual wood. And just pop them all the way around. Just done that one incorrectly. Just grab that back up again, and I obviously need to be at the level above it for this to work. And why is that happening? Let's just fly and try it that way. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay, so that's those all the way around. So say one of those has got inventory in it already, or at least I thought it did because it wouldn't stack. Okay, so that's a bit strange, but never mind. Anyway, the next thing, we want to get a redstone torch first of all, actually. Now, the way that you change is, if you see at the moment, it says the redstone mode is deactivation, right click to toggle, because I've got a redstone torch in my hand. This is the only way that you can change it. You want to click it so it says pulse. So just want to go and change all of those so that they say pulse. And now they'll only actually activate, because these don't need power, by the way. They'll only actually activate when they get a redstone signal. Now, what we're going to do is grab a load of the redstone torches. I think I need to probably make some more, so we'll just make some more anyway. And we'll make an absolute bunch of those. So, yeah, that'll be fine. 25 of those for now. And everywhere where there's a breaker, basically, you just want to put a redstone torch down like this. And on the other side and over here as well. And now what we want to do is we want those redstone torches to basically be off. So we need to kind of create like a NOT gate, but so we can use a little bit of modded to do that. So we haven't got I mean, it's not difficult anyway, but we're going to use a little bit of modded technology as well to set this up so that it's a little bit more automated ultimately. Now, obviously, one way of doing this would be to put redstone down all over the top, all the way around, and then out through a little gap here where we could have a block with another redstone torch on the lever on the other side, and then we'd be able to control whether that was on or off, whether they're on or off. But what I don't want, because I want the places to be on top, as soon as I put the places on top, it'll break the redstone signal. And you can't just put the redstone directly into here, obviously, because as soon as you put one piece of redstone next to another, it'll create a line going that way, and the torches won't read it. So what we're going to do is we're going to use repeaters to do it. And as I say, I'm sure if you've done a bit of redstone in the past, you're probably aware of that anyway. And can I just actually grab some? There we go. Right. So hopefully, we need some more redstone torches. So I knew that I was going to need quite a few of these. We'll just make a half a stack of those for now. And we'll just pop that across. And 16 of those will be absolutely fine for now. So now everywhere where there's a torch on the other side, we basically want to put a repeater in there. We don't need to set any kind of time delay on it or anything. The shortest time delay possible is what we need, because we need this to pretty much happen instantaneously. And like so. And then all we're going to do is going to grab our redstone, which again, I need to grab some out because we haven't got any. Let's just grab a stack, or a couple of stacks actually, of redstone. And we'll just pop that basically all of the way round. So that will go like this all the way round. Okay, so that's the redstone round. As you can see, they all go nicely into the repeaters. And it's just a good idea to double check, just to put down the rest of the bits and pieces that you need first of all, just to make sure that the redstone does actually reach all the way around. So I have a block here. We want a torch on this side. And then for now, we are just going to pop a lever on the other side. And I know I've definitely got one of those hiding away somewhere. Let's just grab those out. So we'll just pop the lever down. And let's just make sure the redstone, say, does reach. And in fact, it doesn't reach all the way around. So what we're going to need is, I think in fact, if we do it here, we should be able to put a repeater in this corner. So I think, yeah, we've still got some here. So we'll just take that up and we'll put a repeater down there. In fact, no, that's not how we want it. Let's just grab that up again and place that bit of grass that I just mined up. I'm just going to have to take a little bit of this out just so I can stand behind it like so. And why is that not? I think I've probably just put that where the redstone signal was quite weak. Let's just take up another piece here. We'll put the repeater just there, and then we'll pop the redstone in there. Right, good. So that now doesn't quite go all the way around, so we will repeat that just here. We'll put another repeater there. Good. And that's now the redstone signal all the way around. And as you can see, all the torches are now off. And obviously, if I flick this switch, that torch will go off, the redstone will go off, and those torches will come back on, which is exactly what we want. So, turn that off for now. And I'll just show you how this is going to work. If we grab some wood, and obviously we haven't got any at the second, so just type in wood. Any wood will do. So what we got? We've got some spruce. So we'll grab a bunch of that. And we'll put a load of that down. So shift click that in, and then, as I say, we'll just put that all the way around and give it a minute until that turns. Okay, so then we can just go and press the button, pull the lever, and if I just fly up a little bit and pull it, you should see that that all now breaks. And basically, what's going to happen is that's going to store that in its inventory. So they've all now got one living wood in there, and we can pull those out by obviously putting some of the Ender IO conduits underneath, because although it won't accept the redstone conduit as a redstone source, they will accept item conduits. So we'll basically, and I'll do that a little bit off camera, but we'll basically feed some of those under there and we'll pull it out into an inventory. Now, the next thing that we need to do then is we need to get a way of automatically placing down some more blocks. We can do that using the auto placer, again, from Actually Additions. And instead of the void crystal, this time it needs the palace crystal. So yeah, I've made a few of those ahead of time and just pull them out like so. And then we should just be able to, as I say, craft together a number of those. So we want 8 of those. Now for this, we're not going to actually change these to pulse mode. We want them on all the while. And the reason why is because if we put it on pulse mode, we'd have to have 2 buttons. Because if we did it on the same button, it would try to do the task at the same time, and obviously that just wouldn't work, because the first pulse, or the pulse would first of all break stuff. And basically what would happen is, try and explain this while I'm doing stuff as well. Basically what would happen is they would break, then this would do nothing, and you'd have to have it on a lever to do it. And by the time that you'd sort of got this lever on enough to place these down, the breakers would have broken the wood that you just placed down on there, which we don't want. So if we leave these on to deactivation, what they'll do is they'll basically wait, and as soon as there's a gap to put stuff down, they will automatically put it down. So what we'll do is we'll grab some more wood. I'll just show you how that's going to work. So we'll just put this down. And I mean, you can probably guess anyway, but I just like to show you as I'm going through it. And then each one of these, if we just put one bit of wood in there, and like so. In fact, we don't need to put wood in all of them. We'll just put wood in a few of them because you'll get the idea. And again, just wait for this to change over. So that's now transformed. And before I do this, I'm going to quickly change this over to a button. Otherwise, we'll run into the problems that I've just mentioned. So hopefully, I think I've got a button over here somewhere. Yeah, I have. Cool. So we'll just pop that down on there. And now if I just fly up a little bit just so that you can see what's going on. Can I get the angle right? Quite like so. So the wood's collected and the living wood's collected, and it's now put down some new logs. So that's in essence how the whole setup works. Now obviously what we need to do is we need to cover all this over. And we need to make sure that the breakers can be emptied out, and that the placers can actually receive some new logs. Now, obviously, logs have been a little bit of a shortage because at the moment, all of this over here is being turned into coal, and then the little setup that I don't know if I showed you this actually before. I've got a little wood setup over here as well, just because I wanted to make sure that I always had a supply of oak. Now, I don't know if there's any in here because I haven't run it for a while. There is a little bit in there, but that's probably too far away. What I'm actually going to do is, and that sound probably, I might even just cut out and do this, but I still want to move. I still want to move this away. But the coal supply that's going over into the steelworks, I'm actually going to switch that over so that it's taking charcoal. Not charcoal. So it's taking coal from coal crops. And I found out of a little way to actually speed that up quite a lot. I was the other day having a little bit of a look around some of the other bases, and I went over to Link's base again. And he's probably going to start thinking I'm stalking him, to be honest, because I spend so much time over there. But he's got some pretty good stuff over there, and it's always good to try to get ideas. And there's an item that you can make called an imaginary time block. I realise I'm going a little bit off track here, but if I don't tell you about this now, I'll probably forget. So the imaginary time block is this from Quantum Flux, and it's a little bit of a pain to make. Now I've already gone ahead and made one of these because it's just putting a lot of materials together. But you basically need one of these cubic clusters level 3, which requires 4 level 2s and an amplification crystal, and there's some level 1s. And mostly they need a lot of this stuff. So the cubic crystal and the gold casing. And the crystal is pretty easy. It's just some of these ender crystals, a bit of nether quartz and a diamond. And then the gold casings is literally just 3 bits of gold and a bit of redstone. So I made a load of those bits and pieces. I grabbed a couple of nether stars from, and I don't think I've showed you this either. As I said in the last episode, we're going to do a bit of a server tour pretty soon. So you'll see where I got these from. But Nonsanity has got a nether star shop in Spawn. So I grabbed a couple of nether stars from there to make this. And then the only other bit you need is the amplification crystals, which I think you've seen me make those already. I'm fairly sure, maybe not, but you just need some of this darkstone, a diamond, and a couple of bits of nether quartz. And the darkstone is really easy. It's just some black dye, a couple of bits of stone, and some cobble. So I got that. I put all that together, and I actually used it here. This is why this power slot is here. So you basically pop this down. So it needs a bit of power, but the actual rate that the crops mature once that is down is, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It's completely insane. I thought before with the mixture of the glass, before I got rid of the worms because of the lag that they cause, but the actual combination of those two was pretty quick. But I mean, it is nothing compared to this. You can stand I was standing here looking in here and basically just watching this go up. I mean, it was so shooting up, and yeah, I got a little bit excited there. But yeah, so we're going to use that for the coal anyway, is the long and short of it. And that's going to produce us enough coal to feed our ender flames and run our easily and to run our steelworks over there, and plus give us any more coal that we might need for other things. So anyway, to basically say, to finish this off, I'm gonna cut out and I'm gonna do the stone side of this as well. I'm gonna fill all of this in, and then we'll have a little bit of a look at how we're going to get this so that it's fully automated, so we don't have to stand there and push a button, because at the end of the day, why wouldn't we? And we'll I think for now we'll probably just gather up a load of wood and a load of stone, and we'll just put them in chests rather than me sort of going away and just totally resetting up the tree farm. But in between episodes I will do that so that it's completely self-sufficient. So, I'll get those bits done, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so we've covered all the workings over, and unfortunately there was no other place to put the item conduit, so they've had to go on top because of all the workings underneath. So it kind of looks a little bit untidy maybe. I don't know, but I kind of do really wish that I could cover these holes over. In fact, I think probably I don't know, I might do it in an episode, I might do it in between episodes, but I'd really like one of these painters, one of the Ender.io painters, so that I can start covering up these conduit holes, because we've got a few in various places over here now, and I think it's time to start neatening those up for sure. But yeah, the final thing, I didn't do this this last step because I just wanted to kind of show you this. It's got a little access tunnel down here so that I can get to actually under here. And the video seems a little bit laggy at the moment. Oh, sorry, the game seems a little bit laggy at the moment. Probably because of all the workings I've got here. Anyway, I've set some filters up here so that this can only pull the stone out to put into the placers. Now, this button here, you need to have this enabled on both of them. I've got one over here as well. Otherwise, what's going to happen is when it actually pulls the items out, what's going to happen is they're going to end up just going all into the same chest, into the same placer. So, and if we can just get back out again, I'll show you why that would be a problem. Because let's just come over here. So each of these has got quite a large inventory. So yes, it's 9 stacks of 64. So yeah, you really want that on round robin. So anyway, let's test it out. So first of all, let's just get rid of the wood that's already over there. And that has now all gone. So if we now put some stacks of wood in here, that will hopefully, yeah, all start to go down there. Now I don't know why that one in the corner didn't break. I've been messing around. I'm worried now that I've broken something. Let's just have a quick look under there and see. Let's just have a quick look and see why that one didn't work. And I can't actually see from here, but that should have broken. That is for sure. And I wonder if it's because I've got 2 torches on there. I don't know, but I'll have to keep my eye on that and just see what's going on. Let's just cover that back over again for a minute. And there, and there. And then we'll put the same on the other side. We'll put some stone in here. Now, I've only just set this just for stone and andesite for now, but obviously, and this side is only for spruce, but we can get back under there and add whatever we want onto the item filters. So that's that doing. That's now got stone in there, so that's working nicely. Just to wait for those to change over. And the wood has already changed over. And we're just waiting for this. Okay, so the stone has now turned into living rock as well. So if you just press the button, you should see that all of these items should now disappear. And it's still left that in the corner. So I've obviously messed something up somewhere along the line there, but I'll get that corrected in between episodes. But yeah, so that's fine. So it's automatically breaking and it's automatically replacing down. So as long as we've always got something in the chests, and that wood has all gone into, and the stone has all gone into the places. So if we have a look, we should be able to see. Yeah, so that's actually pulled living rock into here because I've not specified not to pull living rock into there, and that is why I suspect if we look in here, yeah, that's got living wood in there as well. So I just need to update the item filter so it doesn't pull that through. The final thing to do then is to get this fully automated. We don't want to stand there pressing buttons all the while, and one of the great items that I've found that you can use for stuff like this is the timer from RF Tools. So if we just actually go into the right place, and so just put in timer, and it's this item here. It's a pretty cool item. It's depends where you are in the game as to whether or not this is expensive or not, but yeah, it's not particularly expensive. So you need a machine base, which is some gold nuggets, and a bit of granite, and then obviously you need a clock, which is not, so it's not too bad. But I'm just going to quickly make one of those then, and hopefully I've just got all the bits that I need. In fact, I haven't got any of the bits that I need for it, which is pretty typical, really. And I've just accidentally pressed the button before I needed to. That's fine. So we'll make one of those first of all. We've got a base, and then we need to make some more of the redstone torches again. So just make some of those. And then finally, we need to make ourselves a clock. And now we should just be able to say, put this thing together like so. And there it is. Now, this basically works on, this will give out a signal. Once, if we just take this, in fact, how do we want to do this? Because otherwise this is going to continually break stuff. If we just disable this for a minute, I think, can we do this? Because that is just automatically on at the moment. If we take this torch off, is it gonna? Yeah, it should be fine. So we'll take this button off, and you need to place this down, not that way. You need to place it the other way so that the little cyan dot is facing away. And for whatever reason, I can't do that now. So let's just break this block down as well, and we'll replace that like so. No, that's now going to face that way. Oh, nothing is ever easy, is it? So let's do it this way. Yeah, good. Right, so that's the way that we need to place it. Now we can place our dirt block back down again. We'll put the torch back in a minute. So basically, if you go into here, at the moment it's got a delay of 20 ticks. As it says, 20 ticks is 1 second. And it takes exactly 1 minute for the items to transform once they're around the pure daisy. So that's like 1200 seconds. I think I calculated earlier, just having a quick look at my pad, because I do write stuff down occasionally. Yeah, so it's 1200. It's 1200 seconds. And so we'll add another 3 seconds onto there. So 1200 ticks even. We'll add another 3 seconds onto there, and we'll change that to be 1260, and then that should be the right time. And what that'll do is that'll briefly emit a redstone signal, which will be long enough for the breakers to operate. It'll give it a quick pulse. Then we'll put the torch back down again. And of course, that's just pulsed it. So it's now changed all those over, even though they weren't ready. And hopefully, yes, that's now run out of wood in there already. So we're definitely going to need to do something about that. But then, as I say, this will then send out a pulse. And hopefully, while I'm talking, it will do it. I've now got to fill in a minute of dead time. In fact, what we can do is we just stand here and come on. A minute is an awfully long time when you're just actually waiting for it to do something. Okay, so it turns out that the timer on its own wasn't sending a pulse through to the torch. So I've replaced that now with a repeater in front of it. I've just set it back 1 tick so the pulse lasts long enough for the machine to pick up. And I've set the right time. So I am just literally waiting for this to now pick this up and say, just double check that it actually works, which it does. So there we go. We've run out of wood here, so it's not filled in the corner. But all is well and good. And then when we want to collect the stuff, we can just come in here, and we want some cobble. We can come in here, we can grab out our living rock, and we can come over here and grab out our living wood. So all is good in the world. And I think we're probably out of time. So as I say, I apologise. It's not quite the episode that I'd anticipated that we were going to put out. As I say, I wanted to get some mana started off, but I'll do some preparations and I'll get some mana started with the dayblooms as we were before. I think everybody has seen that happen by now. And I'll get the setup so that we can automate the ender flames, and we'll get that all working, and all will be well in the world. As I say, this is perhaps a little bit of overkill, but I like it. I like automating stuff, and it just makes life a little bit more interesting. So I hope you liked the episode, and if you have, I'm just going to get away from here actually, where it's quite laggy, because we don't need to be there anymore. Yeah, if you like the episode, drop us a like. As I say, always appreciated. And thanks for watching, guys. And until next time, take care. Bye.